Hello, my lovely friends. I'm Cher Johnston. Welcome to my happy place. I have my kitty here. Yes, she's sitting by the window. I have the window open, which is such a relief right now to me because it can get very hot here in Southern California. And that's not fun. But today I have a warm, I don't know, sort of a, let's go here. I have sort of a warm, other parts of the country, it would be a wonderful, warm summer day, sort of like this. Today I put together these little things. These are just little clusters sitting in front of the computer watching YouTube and sewing together little things. And now they each need, sorry, that was my cat. They each need a focal point. And I'm taking my inspiration today from that Italian lady. I'm not going to try to say her name. It's Elisabetta something or other. I'll put a link to her website in the description. Let me just show you really quickly. This is one of the books. This is in a wheat field, and these are the flowers. I'm going to do this one here today. This is the other one that I got just recently. It has all these wonderful, this one is called A Flower Alphabet. And there's her name. Oh, also I have a pile of threads. You can't see them. They're off here. I'm using DMC threads because trying to use up these that I put on cards a long time ago. And I've organized them now. So excited about that. So I can get rid of what I have. These are the ones that I picked out that I think are going to go well together. You can do a screenshot, take a picture with your phone. I'll try to remember to put these in the description. And I know my cat, I'm sorry if you're a cat lover, I know my cat is going to cry to me. She's been crying to me most all day. Oh, wait, hold on. I'll be right back. They're like children, but my daughter was never this, I don't know, this hard. She's been crying all day, and most of the day I've figured out, it's pretty easy to figure out what she wants. She wants to play, she wants treats, she wants food, she likes gravy on her food. And I just have to know, I don't know, I'm coming to kind of know, what she wants. I don't know how I know, but just now she was, um, so funny. She was crying and she started to claw at the chair, at the my pants that I left on the chair. And what that means is I want a tent. I put a blanket over her like a tent. I don't know if anyone else has that particularity with their cat, but she likes a tent. Oh, so here I am just, oh, I'm just stitching away, not even telling you what I'm doing. This thread is my blue number 931. I have a milliner's needle, which I pulled out because, if I want to do knots, that works out best for knots. And um, uh, what I'm doing is a woven Picot stitch, and somehow I have a little tangle. It's not a knot, but it is a tangle. Move the elbow. So you saw what I did. I just made a little, I think of it like a teepee. You could do 3 strands, you could do 5 strands, you could do 7, I imagine. And then I'm going to do over, under, this direction, and then over, under, over. I just try to think of where it's going in this, on the center one. Like this, I just went under the center one, so now I have to go over the center one. I did these before on my channel, and in her book, she uses 2 strands of embroidery floss. Like, what? Okay, at some point you can take that out and it lifts off the page. Not the page, the fabric. And then I can kind of push it forward. But this time I'm using all 6 strands because when you use 2 strands, it takes a long time to sort of to fill that in. And I don't want to take that long. I want it to just fill up really quickly. I may have mentioned in another video that I did a class. I have to be careful because I have this mat here now and I might be moving the mat. Anyways, I took a class from Amity Bloom. She is, I just love her stuff. She has lots of digitals on Etsy. I don't, when I make journals, I don't normally ink. I'm not an inker. And she's not either, which I really like. So, yeah, there's that. And her style is sort of, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of the Donna Dewberry toll painting that I used to do. Yeah. So my next one, I'm going to put, oh, I should have thought this out more. I'm going to put it underneath this one. And I'm going to go up here. Yeah. And put my pin in again. Kind of measure how I want it to be about the same length. So I'm going to go up there. My pin has something at the end. And I only have one pin here in front of me right now. So we're just going to deal with it. What else? So I do this that loops over the top of the pin, and then, oh, did I make that big enough? Yeah. And then I'm going to come up next to the pin. You know what? I'm going to pull that out just a little bit. I'm going to come up next to the pin. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to dangle the thread. It's not untwisting. And then I'm going to put the thread over the top of that pin. I'm going to use the eye of the needle to go under, over, under. Then over, under, over. I think I was talking about Amity Bloom. I bought a course from Amity Bloom. The Hanky Diaries. I saw her. I'll put a link to her if I remember, to her Hanky Diaries video where she showed one of her Hanky Diaries. I just thought it was the cutest little frickin' thing, and I had one hanky, so I just had to make one. I have a book called Hanky Couture. It's a very old book. I bought it a long time ago. This woman made Barbie doll dresses from vintage hankies. I just thought it was adorable. And now I'm thinking I'm going to cut the book apart and put images from the book into my next hanky diary. I didn't think of it with this one. I have one that I'm almost done with. It's 95% complete. And I'm going to list it on my Ko-fi site and just see if it sells there. And if it doesn't, I might have to list on Etsy. But we'll see. We shall see. Okay, now I have to move my... You have to be careful when you're using the eye of the needle, because sometimes it gets kind of wrapped up. So you have to be careful that you're pulling... I don't know how to describe that. Yeah. You just have to be careful. Anyway. Oh, I think I said that I have a hanky diary. That's 95% complete. And uh, I'm still working on the sweaters for my nieces. I'm like 99.9% complete on those. But I also had purchased a little t-shirt. Oh my gosh, I just realized that it's not t-shirt weather. Anyways, I purchased a t-shirt for their little sister. Um, their little sister is, I don't know, maybe 6 months old. I don't know. Wanda knows. Anyways, those look kind of cute. All right, now I need a different color. Go to the back and end off this thread. I hear my neighbor. I don't know if you can hear the keys jingling. I don't know what I just pulled there. 1 second. These are dollar store glasses. Just, you know. It's like having a magnifying glass, I guess. Okay. Let's get a new needle and different thread. This one is 932. Very, very, very similar color, but a little bit lighter. Ah. And a quilter's knot. Just going to wrap one time because I have fabric that will prevent the knot from coming through. I had a feeling this one was too short. Doesn't really matter, I guess. They're kind of flopping around, and I can kind of sew down and kind of sew that one and make it go that direction. Okay, now I'm going to put one right in front of, you know what? This might be a little tough. But I want to make sure that it's the right. This one's going to be a little bit shorter. Wrap around that and go down here. Come back up here. And wrap there and go under, over, under, over, under, over. Oh, wonderful breeze coming in my window. That's so exciting to me. Under, over, under. That's to make sure that I'm not going under the other threads. Now, I'm gonna take this pin out and I'm gonna flop it over this way. Under, over, under. I think that might make the tip sort of a little pointed. Which might be okay. This is easier to weave this way with the thing like free floating like this. But I have found that you have to be careful that you don't get it too thin. You know, if you pull too tight this way, it thins it out. I don't want them. I don't want little skinny little leaves. I want them to stay a little bit chubby. So someone had asked in the comments, can't remember who, I think it may have been Shirley from Canada with the orange cat, asked for dimensional embroidery. And I, what did I do? I was not coming up with a design that uses a lot of dimensional embroidery. So I'm just going to do a little bit here and there. I did with the lettering, we did a little dimensional embroidery. And then this is dimensional embroidery. And I know that there's, if you watch, what did I picked up the wrong needle. If you watch Marion's World, she did a really beautiful little bee. She does a lot of different kinds of embroidery. She is one of the people that I really like to watch. But to be honest, I watch a lot of, this one's looking really weird. To be honest, I watch a lot of junk journal or journaling videos. I like Sarah Lee Armstrong. She's making a ring bound journal right now. And she does the grungy, dark, that kind of a look. Just kind of cool. I also love to watch um, Michelle from the Creative Cove. She's also in Canada. Um, there's a lot of older videos that I uh, really enjoy. She doesn't post a lot. I think she posts about once a week now. Okay, that got this is getting kind of weird. Okay, whatever. It's a good thing I wasn't stitching through the fabric because um, that one piece got folded. And I would have been stitching right through it. All right. Beep, 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 beep. I have to go a little bit more. I'm, I'm tired of this now. Tired of doing this. But we're almost done, so I have to hang the needle, get all the little twists out, and then pull it down a little bit. Um, there's a was watching Jennifer Clouston one day, and she said that she probably threaded the wrong end of the thread, and that's why it gets tangled. Well, if you take your thread and you put it on a spool, I mean, if you get DMC thread, how do you know which is the correct end? And even if it was on a spool, I don't know which is the correct end to use. I don't know how you would know until you're already stitching and you go, oh gosh, this isn't working out very well. All right, so enough of that. We're going to go to the back. Now we're going to do another, we're going to do more dimensional embroidery. There's a little Mitzi hair. Oh, okay, I have this green 370, and I went and got a different needle. This is a number 3 embroidery needle. And see how my thread has kinks? I'm not going to store my threads like that anymore. I recently purchased some floss drops. They're little, I'll show them to you when I get them. They're little cards. Actually, these are little wooden things. Hold on. They're like this. But they're wooden and they're sort of sort of oval shaped, and they have a hole up there and a big hole down here and then a little tiny hole there, so that you can cut your threads to, I think I'm going to cut mine to about 22 inches because that would wrap around an 11.5 piece of cardboard. So I'm going to cut them all to 22 inches and then thread them over top, or, knot them over top of the floss drop, and then let them all drop. I have behind me, I have a, what do you call it? For all the spools of thread, that thing that you get for all the spools of thread. Okay, next we are going to do, or I'm going to do, and you're going to watch. This is a padded satin stitch. I'm going to kind of draw this in, and now I wish I had realized this was going to be bigger. Doesn't matter. The first thing I'm going to do is a bunch of just straight stitches, going vertically. And I'm not going down here and back up here to like use less thread or something. I am going all the way up, back up to the top, because this is padding for my satin stitch, and all of the thread underneath this thread, that's also going to be padding for my satin stitches. So I'm hoping that this will be much easier. I have to stab stitch this one. I don't know why, but it won't. Not gonna operate. It's not gonna. I don't know what I was saying. I'm sorry. Now I interrupt myself sometimes, and I speak really slowly. It irritates the heck out of people sometimes. I had 2 different bosses in my lifetime who absolutely hated it that I talk so slowly. And I have heard that when a person talks really fast, it's a sign of high intelligence. So, whatever. Maybe I'm not that bright. It's okay with me. But I had different bosses who drove them nuts. And then I had, not long ago, I had a boss, lady boss, who talked too fast. Like I could not, I'd have to stop and I'd have to think about what she just said to me for it to register. So I couldn't answer right away. And sometimes she talked so fast that I couldn't even understand. I'd have to ask her to repeat it. And I felt like an idiot saying, "Can you just talk really slow? Act like I'm a 5-year-old, okay?" All right, so now I'm doing my satin stitches, which go horizontal. And yeah, I'm circling around all of those threads. And yeah, I'm having to stab stitch because there's a lot back there. All right. Now I don't have to stop at the base. I can include part of those petals in the calyx. I want to be going the opposite direction at this point. And I'll show you why in a minute. I can push that up. I think I need one more. One more. There. All right. That's not bad. Not bad at all. All right. Now, going to come up right at the end there. And I'm going to do my stem with a Portuguese knotted stem stitch. So that starts off with a stem stitch. want it too tight. And another stem stitch. And now I'm going to take my thread with the eye of the needle and go underneath those two little stitches there and underneath again. Makes a cute little knot. Then I need to make sure that my needle, see what happens? Yeah, see, that's what happens. Okay, now I have to hang the needle off the edge, let it untwist. All right, now I'm back. Stem stitch. And I want these pretty close together because I want a nice chunky little stem. Now I'm passing through two stitches, two little threads there, once and then twice. See the little chunky little chunk of monka. All right, now one more, running off the edge of, see, I hadn't planned to stitch all that way. I'm not very centered. All right, now again, I'm going to go under those two stitches there, and one more time. And then back down. I'm going to end this off right here. All right, I drew a little cow parsley Queen Anne's lace in there, and I'm just going to do a back stitch there. Oh, I took 3 strands out of this. So this is only 3 strands of EMC thread. And I still have my little 370. And now I'm going to do just straight stitches from the outside right into that. That point right there. I'm so glad I looked that up. Uh, Sherry Iris uses cow parsley. And I was thinking, that looks an awful lot like Queen Anne's lace. And you know what? It is the same thing. Or it looks very, very similar anyways. Um, I used to have a garden when I had a house. And I bought a bunch of wildflower seeds and just kind of threw them all over the ground. And, well, what do you know? I ended up with Queen Anne's lace, which I think is cow parsley. So next, I'm going to use, this is 746, and I have here a piece of thread that it may be might be 6 strands. Doesn't matter. It's something I'm going to use. And I'm going to do I think I'm going to start with 1 wrap French knots. Just see how that goes. I think I want them big and chunky though. Oh, I don't know. That looks kind of big. I think it's always good to start out with 1 wrap French knots. I like to do colonial knots. I like those better to do. Don't know why, I just like them. Just like to do them better. But they're sometimes too big. So a French knot, you come up, and then I'm going to hold the thread, and I'm pointing my needle from the fabric this way, out from the thread. I mean, out from the fabric. Anyways, you got it. And then I'm going to stop here, pull tight, and then I'm going to hold that down with my thumb, pull through. I have something behind me there that's preventing, it's all these little eyelet things. I think that's so cute. Just love it. Trying to go through my fabric and get rid of stuff that I don't want, that I'm never going to use. I have so much fabric, and a lot of it is just, my tastes have changed, or I have fabric that I bought for a specific purpose, and I saved the scraps, and now I'll never use those scraps. But I start going through fabric and going, oh, there's this, and I forgot about this, and it's like, there's some people that I watch who do junk journals or, glue books or collage, especially people who do collage. And they have collage fodder. And they have papers and papers and papers and papers. And I just, it kind of makes me cringe. Like, all those papers would, that would make me crazy. I do have a lot of papers myself, but I don't love them and hoard them the way most people do. I saved a lot of teeny tiny scraps, and I realized that I don't use scraps. I don't, and I don't like having them around, and I don't, I imagine paper people probably feel the same way about fabric scraps. I used to teach classes at this place in Chatsworth, and I brought in a bunch of scraps one day for my students to take. And, when you do slow stitch, you need lots of teeny tiny scraps of fabric. And, I thought I'd share my fabric scraps with my students. And when I tried to dump them out on the table, the owner, Liz, just went, "Oh my God, all the teeny tiny pieces, oh my God." She kind of freaked out a little bit, and I went, "Oh, I guess maybe some people feel about scraps of fabric the way that I feel about scraps of paper. Like, that would be too much. That's too much to have in my space. I really need to go through all my papers, especially my scrapbook paper. I've been scrapbooking for, I don't know, 20 years, over 20 years. I had not a club, I had a group. We used to get together, I don't know, once a month. And we did a potluck, and we would spend all day together, and it's really fun. But, that was 20 years ago, and my tastes have really changed. Back then, I had a lot of children's, school times and children's kind of things. And I never used all that stuff. And I don't now. I mean, I have kids who are in school. I have grandkids who are in school, but I don't use that kind of scrapbooking stuff with them. All right. Oh, see, that's trying to sew into those things. All right. I don't know if you saw what happened there. I got off the needle. All right. All right, all right, all right. I'm going to, do one more right here. Right there. Oh crap, I think I did. I just undid one of my, probably came back up under the same hole. Yep, I did. All right. we go. I think I think that's done. I think it might need some little pearl seed beads. So I'll iron out the marks, and I'll share a photo at the end. All right, I finished this up. I was cleaning my desk and I realized I had this out. I used this and didn't say anything about it. It's just thread conditioner. Helps turn this, oh, this poor little thread, into this, which is a little less, I don't know, less kinky, less weird. This little thing will be for sale in my Ko-fi shop. You could make it into a hidden paper clip like this. If you do junk journaling, I'm sure you know how to make hidden paper clips. If not, you can just ask me. You could also put it at the edge of a page for like a little, lace edge. That'd be kind of cool. That's what would show off the side of the book. Anyway, this will be for sale in my Ko-fi shop. I'll put a link in the description. Thanks for watching. Bye!